Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Wano Timiche, Jamo Yesu Atalele. Bao wote, eni wote. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Wano Timiche, Jamo Yesu Atalele. Bao wote, eni wote. Kalakaji mi ya fijin tamo kokole mama. Bao wote, eni wote. Kaji mi ya fijin tamo kokole mafa. Bao wote, eni wote. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Ono Timiche, Tamo Yesu Atalele. Bao wote, eni wote. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Ono Timiche, Tamo Yesu Atalele. Bao wote, eni wote. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Eni Yesu yo, Jemeno Mishayo. Ono Timiche, Tamo Yesu Atalele. Bao wote, eni wote. Boa me na nenya me boa me. Boa me na nenya me boa. Boa me na nenya me boa me. Boa me na nenya me boa me. Ganeni ya
all about it. A warm welcome to all our listeners all over the globe. This is Ɔdadeɛ Sports Digest. This program allows us to reminisce on some of our sports achievements as a school, and also allows us to discuss issues in the sporting world that goes a long way to influence sports at a secondary school level. Today we are still on our walk down memory lane of Presec sports, looking at our sports personalities that made and continue to make sports in Presec memorable. If you ever did sports during your time in Presec, you are the reason why we are doing this program. We want to acknowledge you, we want to appreciate you, we want to remember you, and most importantly, we want to salute you. You can contribute to this program by sending who your favorite sports heroes were when you were in Presec, or your favorite sports moments or memories of yesteryear. You can also send your questions and comments ahead of time on our WhatsApp platform, 02000 92 92 5. 02000 92 92 5. And we'll read your comments and questions or suggestions at the end of the program. Please follow the program also on our main streaming links on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio, YouTube at Ɔdadeɛ Radio, X formerly Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio, Instagram at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. My guest for today was born on the 18th of April 1939 in Vane Avateme, Bogame, and he had his early education at Jolo, Bogame, near Hu, in the Volta region, before successfully gaining admission into Maoli Senior High School in 1957, where he studied till his O-level. He then came to transfer to Presec in 1960 for his sixth form special exam, and whilst he was here, he was in Akro House. He joined the military academy in 1960 and completed in 1961. He was in the infantry department, the 1st Battalion in Takrady, 2nd Battalion headquarters in Kumasi, 3rd Battalion in Sunyani as an officer and later as a commanding officer. And he finally retired as a lieutenant colonel in 1985. He served the nation faithfully for 25 years. He is married and has been married for 57 years and blessed with 5 children and 8 grandchildren. He has always been an active sportsman, playing football, basketball, and volleyball during his youthful days. However, in the military, he was the captain of the first Army football team formed and coached by the legendary C.K. Jemfi. He began his refereeing career as a Class 1 referee in 1967 to 1974, going on to become a licensed FIFA referee from 1974 to 1986. My guest for today is no other than Ɔdadeɛ, Lieutenant Colonel retired D.S.K. Amengor, a retired FIFA referee. Sir, you are warmly welcome to Ɔdadeɛ Sports Digest.
Thank you very much.
It's really an honor and privilege for me to have you in our studio, sir. You may be my oldest guest that I've ever interviewed, but I'm really very happy. For you honoring our invitation to today's program. Let me also mention that my guest is here in the studio with his wife, Mrs. Victoria Amengor, and some of his children and grandchildren. So let's go straight into our interview today. Sir, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, early childhood, primary school, that you attended, family background and that?
Thank you very much. Lieutenant Colonel D.S.K. Amengor, retired. I was born in Vane, Afatime, and I schooled in Zulu Bogame. And then from Zulu Bogame, I went to Maoli School, and then from Maoli School, I transferred to Presec for a special reason. That was in those days, you have to sit for special sixth form exam. And during the sixth form exam, my father died. So I have to leave, and luckily I got admission to the Ghana Military Academy, where we were paid some allowances, which I used to look after my siblings, and that's how I came about in my life.
I see. That's a good thing. God bless you for that. Actually, taking care of your siblings, sacrificing yourself for that. But at the time your father passed away, why did you have to leave? Couldn't you still continue in sixth form?
I couldn't continue because, as I said earlier on, my siblings, they were about 3 or 4, I can't remember. Mm-hmm. And I have to look after them. My mother too was alive, and interestingly, I had an elder cousin in Germany. He wanted me to come to Germany, and I said, no, I won't come. I won't go there, because if I go, I'll leave my mother and my siblings behind. So I didn't go to Germany. So that's how I came about that. I stayed behind.
I see. You were in the notorious house, Accra House. Notorious.
Well,
but this house was known for great athletes. Do you have any memories of what sports was like those days in school? Do you recall any of your sports mates?
Incidentally, when I was there was no Accra House.
Oh, really?
It was called House 4.
Wow.
In those days. So, our sports captain was one, what's the name? Ado or so. And then there was another one, Okuno, who became a lawyer, and they were prominent in the football team we had in Presec. And there were other players. There was one Tete, smallish man but a good player, and there was this guy, Ametepe or so. Yes, but
what about your classmates? Do you recall anybody who was your classmate at the time?
In Presec?
Yes.
Yes, I recall. I said I met the late the finance minister.
Former finance minister.
Former finance
minister.
minister. Kwesi Botwe.
Okay.
And then the former what's the name?
Speaker of the House.
Speaker.
Mr. Michael K.
Michael K.
Yeah. Okay. Honorable Michael.
Yes, they were the prominent people I remembered very well. Okay. Because in those days the two of them were cracks. Yes, they were cracks. Yes.
Okay, let's delve into your sports background. How did your interest in sports all begin?
Interestingly, it began from infancy, primary school. I was playing football mainly in primary school, then to secondary school, and then into the army.
I see. And when you came to Presec, did you participate in any sports?
Yes, I played in the Presec football team. Our sports master was one. What was the name? It's just slipped my mind.
Don't worry about it. I mean, I think some of the things are long ago. what was, you remember the name?
Amwa.
Okay.
Yes, Amwa.
Okay.
Yes. He became the regional sports organizer for the Eastern region later on.
I see. And do you recollect the people who were in, like, apart from this man, Mr. Amwa, you talked about? Do you remember any of the star, athletes at the time?
Tenge was one of them.
Tenge.
Yes.
Okay.
A prolific runner,
Okay.
and a short distance runner, and a short putter.
Okay.
He is one of those I remember very well. And there,
Oh, go ahead.
and there were others. I can't remember their names. This is more than 50 years ago.
Okay. Did any particular person during that time who was like one of the top sports person have an impact on you, in terms of like influence and?
You mean in Presec?
Yes, in Presec.
Top sportsman,
Yes.
Adi football. He was the football captain.
Okay.
Yes.
And what number did you play?
I played at number 2.
Defender.
Yes. But then incidentally, I was nicknamed number 1. So in Presec, I was nicknamed number 1. A few people know me as number 1. For what reason? Well, I can't remember. Yes.
But what was Presec soccer in those days? I mean, were we one of the powerhouses when you look at Presec football at the time?
In those days, I would say no, because Presec in those days was mainly academic. Academic. And when we formed the school team, we played against Achibota. We were whipped.
Please don't say that too loudly. Don't say that too loudly.
I will say, okay.
We
lost.
We lost, yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Then we played against Mount Mary. Mount Mary, those days, they were big people in the training college.
Growies, they
Yes,
were old
yes.
people, yes.
And then we played against Aguakwa State College,
Okay.
where we whipped them in the first 10 minutes.
Please use that forcefully. We whipped them.
Yes, in the first 10 minutes we whipped them.
Wow,
And
look.
then so they decided to assault us.
Oh.
So the match didn't end any longer.
They do it to us a lot.
Yes.
Like anytime we win, they try and assault us. Something that we can't even understand. So is there a particular match that stayed in your mind? When you played for the school team, is there a particular match apart from the one you just mentioned with the Aguakwa State?
Yeah, I think that was against. I would say the Achibota one, because when we were going to Achibota, we thought we were what we were, but when we got there,
They cheated us. That's what it is. They cheated us, Achimota. Let's conclude that we were cheated because there's no way they just cheated us.
yes.
But what would you say, like sports? The impact of sports on your life generally, as
Well, sports has made me what I became later on in life, to become a lieutenant colonel in the Ghana Army. Because sports is a discipline, you must discipline yourself. You must show commitment, you must show enthusiasm, and you must show a lot of self-confidence. And this what really brought me into the army.
so like sports really conditioned you because
Exactly.
the training,
Yes.
the discipline,
Yes.
all that actually aligns you with what the military.
A lose for.
Yes.
Yes.
I see. But do you generally think that it should be the responsibility of like schools, I mean, to really nurture students who have talent?
Well, personally, I think it should be like that. Because if the school doesn't nurture you from the beginning, you won't get to the top. So I think I would say that it is the nurturing by the school. But then other conditions also come in, like conditioning yourself to become a good sportsman or athlete or footballer or whatever it is. Yes.
Because I mean, these days, you realize that a lot of the young ones can't even reach their potential because of the demand, you know, the pressure in the school and the demand for excellence in terms of academic work. So when somebody has that sort of talent, you know, it's pushed to the background. So you don't see too many young people coming out to do sports. You know, I mean, it's evident even in terms of the young people who are being called into our young national teams. I mean, you don't really get a lot of students.
Yes,
who are
that's
in
correct.
you know. So let's talk a little about your participation in sports whilst you were in the military. You know, what events did you participate in?
Football is my number one sport in the military. I played volleyball, I played basketball, I played hockey. The only game I didn't play is cricket. Because my school, we didn't know what it's called.
Do you play table tennis as well?
Yes, I did a small
Lawn tennis. Oh, okay.
yes, and then lawn tennis.
Okay.
Lawn tennis, I trained myself to play lawn tennis. Yes, I didn't get any special coaching. But then when I joined the army, they tried to organize some coaching courses for some of us to play tennis. But it didn't take me very far.
Because the military had a very strong team in volley, handball. They did well in athletics and football.
Yes.
You know, so in football, it's mentioned in your bio that you were captain of the first army team ever formed by the legendary coach D.S.K. Tell us a little bit about that.
As I said earlier on, we used to play inter-unit football matches, and then we picked players from all the units to form that army team. And then that army team, incidentally, I think I was the only officer who was in that team, and that's how I got to become the captain. Later on, and in that same team was there was one Aqua, copper colored. He was a lefty, and he played for Black Stars. Yes.
I was about to ask you if any of your colleagues played in that first team ended up in the national team.
Yes, Aqua played for the Black Stars.
See, and I know that there were some teams that also played in the first division league. If I remember well, there was a military, there was an SS74.
74, yes.
Yes. You know, and there were our national goalkeeper came from that team. Was it Supe? I think it was called Supe or something like that. One of the keepers from.
What is the name? Yeah, I've forgotten the name.
Yes.
Sorry, I've forgotten the name. He was in that team.
But that team, that CKJF team, do you have any memorable match that you can recollect? Since it was the first team.
Yeah, this is what I said, that we played against Workers' Brigade.
Workers' Brigade?
Yes. In those days, Workers' Brigade had a very good team, captained by the late legendary Babayara.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
you played against him?
Yes, I played against him. I played in number 2 position against Babayara, who was on the right wing, and he gave me a lot of problems. Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the military has strong rivalry among the divisions and play, you know. So we know that the military has trained a lot of very good sportsmen in our country, especially when it comes to football. And like I mentioned, we had this SS 1974.
Yes,
I remember them because of, I think at some point in time, they were one of those strong teams that people found it difficult to beat them.
Yes, you are right. You are right.
Yes, they had a very, very strong team. I was trying to find out about the team and the members and all that, but you know, somehow I was having some challenges. But I wanted to find out if there's anybody in there apart from what do you call it? Like you said, you played against Babayara, but was there anybody in your team that you'd say was one of the stalwarts in the team that made the team what it was?
I can't recollect anybody like that, because we were all average players in those days in the army. So when we come up a little, then we try to form that army team. That's how it came about, and we did our best, and we played against the Workers' Brigade, and it was a memorable match, and I will never forget. Yes.
But in training for like a team in the military, is it different from your normal military training, or you have?
It is a little different, because the units have football teams, and then they allow the unit football teams to go and train. After the training, then they go and have some rest and come back to join the main unit training for future operations. Yes.
I see. You know that one of the things that I've been wondering about is how, you know, we have all these students who are into sports, but none of them really end up going to sports coaching or management or refereeing. And I still don't see that happening now. What do you think accounts for this?
You know, I think as far as I'm concerned, it's because of academics. A lot of students in those days want to go into academics for various reasons, and so they don't want to enter into coaching. The only coaching student I can remember is the late Caesar, and he later became the director of he became the Black Stars coach in Cote, Black Stars in Cote. When there was some problem, they went to Cote d'Ivoire to play a match, and they sacked the coach, and he took over as the coach. But apart from him, I don't think I know any other student who went to serious coaching course.
Did it ever cross your mind whilst you were in school that one day you would end up in officiating?
No, never.
It never crossed your mind. You were just playing for the fun of it.
Yes, I was only playing for the fun of it. Yes.
I see. Well, listeners, we've been talking to Lieutenant Colonel retired D.S.K. Amengor, a retired FIFA referee, and we've just delved into his time here in the school, how his interest in the sports all began. We'll go on a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will delve properly into his refereeing career. Yes, a quick commercial break.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200 092925.
Okay, so welcome back to Ɔdadeɛ Sports Digest. And my guest this evening is Lieutenant Colonel retired D.S.K. Amengor, retired FIFA referee. This second part of the program will look mainly at the refereeing career of my guest, his match experiences and performances he has had at various levels, what it takes to become a referee, and some of the difficult and challenging moments during his career. You can send your questions or comments, contributions to our WhatsApp number on 02000 92 925. Join and also follow the program through our social media handles: YouTube at Ɔdadeɛ Radio, Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio Ghana, X formerly Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio, Instagram at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. D.S.K. retired FIFA referee Amengor. Your name is so sweet, eh? They say a referee is a sports professional who oversees competitions and ensures players follow the rules of the game. Referees look or rule violations, give out warnings and penalties, monitor time remaining in the game, and make sure players are safe. But what sort of qualifications do you need to become a referee?
First of all, in Ghana, you must be able to read and write. That's the first qualification. Then you come for an interview, and then you are taken through an interview before you are admitted into refereeing. You start from the bottom, which is class 3, class 2, class 1. Before, from class 1, you get into FIFA. These are the qualifications.
Okay, so it's not, you don't have to have, I mean, what are the level, the educational level? Is it just like secondary school level, or you have to have a higher?
No, during my time, I won't say secondary level per se, because so far as you can read and write, then
that's enough.
That's enough. But now, I think, I'm not sure what's happening now. They are raising the bar.
Yes, I think that now there's a lot of, you have to have a certain amount of IT knowledge. All the things that they are doing, they are doing now. But I believe the work ethic, your confidence, discipline, decision making, and timely execution of the decisions you make are some of the yardsticks that make a very good referee. In your view, what does it take to become not just a good referee, but an exceptional one?
Well, you must have confidence in yourself first, because what you are doing is not going to be easy. Therefore, if you have that self-confidence, you go through your normal training, you go through exams, and then you qualify to get to the top.
So, I mean, that is what will kind of like remove you from the pack. Because these days you see that there are so many referees, but there are some who, you know, I don't know. There was an Italian referee that every time comes into my bald-headed colleague, yes, and every time when he was the one refereeing a match, you got some belief that this match there will be a no, you can't misbehave, because there are some people, there are some players, even coaches and spectators who really match officials who misbehave even during the match, and the referee needs to be very, very firm, you know. So yes, I believe the confidence, but to be really exceptional, I'm thinking you must have some unique, you must be maybe bold, daring, and you know, that sort of thing. That makes you different from the others?
You know what? I don't want to blow my horn, but anytime I am picked to referee a match, especially league matches, and they hear that Major or Lieutenant and Amengor is the referee, then they hold their heads because they know that it's, well, let me use the word, it's no nonsense referee. He won't
You won't tolerate anything, no libi, no laba
at all.
and you use these things as and when you have to.
Yes.
I want to give Mr. Otu a red card. Red card. You know. But what made you decide to become a knight of the whistle, as they call it?
Well, I don't know whether I've said it earlier on. When I was playing football in the military, I was posted to the 2 Brigade headquarters as a staff officer. I was as one of the officers, and I couldn't cope with the regiment of going to train, run around, and come back to the office. So I decided that, if that's the case, why not diverge into refereeing? So this is how I got into refereeing in 2 Brigade.
In 2 Brigade?
2nd Brigade, Kumasi.
Yeah.
Kumasi.
And this is around what year or age?
That was in 19... let me see.
Ma, do you remember? None of you remember.
In the 1970s, I think.
In the 70s.
Yes, I think so. In the 1970s, I think so. Yes.
Because that is when your career really started.
Yes,
you know.
it really started. Yes.
But back in that day, you know, when you started refereeing, did we have also women showing interest in refereeing?
In the main, at my time, not very many, but later on, others, the women started coming in, and there was one particular lady called Viviana Go. Yeah, she also became a FIFA referee.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And I think one of the women pioneers. And there were others I can't remember right now. Yes.
But is the training regime the same for men as women?
Yes, it's almost the same. It's almost the same. You do your running, you do your exams, you do the Cooper test. Yes, Cooper test.
What is a Cooper test?
Cooper test is one of the most interesting qualification marks for a referee. That's you run at least 12 times around the track, at least 12 times.
That is like going 4,000.
Yes.
Almost 5,000.
Yes, at least.
But is there a time?
Yes. 12 within 12 minutes.
Hey.
Within 12 minutes.
You could run for our country.
Within 12 minutes.
Wow.
Yes, that's how. Yes, that's what.
12 times round means everyone must do 60 seconds round every.
Yes, I
think it's not easy, yes. Because even 400 meters, at that people were doing 50 seconds.
Yes.
Hey. It's not easy. Some of our mates who did 400 meters, they were doing it 60 something seconds. Wow. But I know that the fitness of a referee and knowing the rules of the game are important aspects, you know. But walk us through some of the training regime. I mean, you just mentioned the Cooper,
yes.
Cooper regime.
Cooper test.
Cooper test.
Yes.
You know, but what is the other training? What are the other training? You know, what's the other regime? The training regime that you do?
We go on courses, refresher courses. We go on refresher courses, and then we go on your own daily fitness test, fitness training. That's on your own, not the Cuba test. But then, if you don't do that yourself, when you get into the Cooper, you'll be in trouble. Yes.
I see. So the Cooper is supposed to test your stamina,
Stamina, yes.
and then the length, the running up and down you will do during a match.
Yes, is to test your ability to sustain yourself during a match. Yes.
The up and down.
Yes.
Hey, did you find it tasking? Was it one of the most difficult things for you?
The Cooper, yes, I did. The Cooper test. And then we'll do, and then you have to do medical exam too as well. You go and do medical exam. And the Cooper test, as I said, it's not easy. It's not a joke.
Because that's the physical fitness aspect of the referee.
Yes, in those days.
Yes.
Right now, I don't know what is happening.
But then there are also the rules of the game. Which
Exactly.
forms the basis of,
Yes. Yes.
that one you have to write an exam for it.
Yeah, no, you have a book. I mean, FIFA
Guidebook.
rules of the laws of the, you call it laws of the game, and then you must be going through them regularly. That's why you go on refresher courses, and there are certain particular points in the laws of the game which you must master properly to be able to go through a match. For example, we say that the referee is not to insist but to assist players during a match, so that, and then you protect them against rough play, that type of thing. Yes. Yeah. And this is the way we go about it.
I was just reading something and they said it has been argued that the Cooper test might not truly indicate if a referee will be able to perform well in a football match. So now FIFA referees are now required to pass the high intensity fitness test, and most national associations are adopting that.
Well, that's after I've left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's new to me. But as you rightly said, some of us were of the opinion that running Cooper test should not be the main exam for progression. But well, they've decided that that's how it
In
should
the
be
army
done.
itself, when you are going to even their exams, you have to run. And a lot of people feel that, and for me also, I believe that shouldn't be really be the yardstick for, getting people into the army. But they use that to disqualify people.
People, yes, you are right.
So walk us through a typical preparation of a match for a referee. How do you prepare?
Well, very interesting question. When you are you are nominated to referee a match, you are given two assistants, and we call them in those days linesmen. Then you come together, and then you plan the way to go about that particular match. Then incidentally, all of us are not in the same place. Some are in Kumasi, some are in Takoradi, Accra. But then we make sure that you go through the regimen of physical fitness on your own, so that when we come together, you don't have any problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, Joseph, I think you should be showing us some of the pictures on the video so that people will see some of it. I was going to ask you about, like, when you are given a linesman to join you to referee a match, you, the referee, do you have a choice in who they pick? And let's say if you have certain doubts about the person they've picked, are you allowed to protest?
In certain cases, you may pick your own linesman, but normally the linesmen are picked for you to assist you.
Okay. Wow. I see. So let's say typical match. You are going into the match. You have prepared. The match is about to start. You are a referee, and you have to use the washroom. What do you do?
The question again.
I'm saying that you are a referee. A match is about to start, or it has even started, and you want to use the washroom. What do you do?
It's a very interesting question.
Yes.
Because it has never happened to me.
Oh, really?
So yes. So
which means you are prepared well
yes,
before the match.
Yes, you are
But
prepared
it can
well.
happen that you might get it.
It can happen, but luckily for me, it hasn't happened to me before.
I see. So you don't have any colleague who has ever complained about.
No.
No.
That's why when you go on break, I mean interval, you
Okay.
can go and
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Were you going to say something, mommy?
So that's why there's always a fourth referee.
There's always a fourth referee. Yes. You have become very well versed in the game, Mom. Your husband has forced you to become very well versed in the game. But you began as a class 1 referee.
I started as a class 2 referee.
Class 2 referee, okay.
Yes.
That was between 1967 to 1974.
Yes.
And then you went on to become a licensed FIFA referee from 1974 to 1986 when you retired.
Yes.
Tell us about these various levels of refereeing. From being an ordinary referee, a class 1 referee, then there's even a CAF referee, then there's FIFA referee. Can you explain to our listeners what these various stages are?
Basically, when you start, you are supposed to start from class 3. Then you go to class 2. You go to class 1. And then you are given matches. You are assessed. Any match you are going to a referee, you are given an assessor to assess you. And upon your performance, you are promoted to the next level. And then when you get to the next level, you go through the same regime, trying to improve upon what you are gone through. The assessor at times will tell you that, oh, this and this and this is what you have done, but this and this is the way it should be done, and that type of thing, so that you can change your attitude or your performance. Yes.
I see. And the difference between that class 1 referee and FIFA, I know that there's a training you have to go through.
Yes.
I'll come to that in a minute, but needless to say, you must have attained these heights to become a FIFA referee. But I want to know how well are referees trained in Ghana, and in your view, are they preparing them well enough?
Well, during our time, I would say they prepare us well. Right now, I don't know exactly the regimen they are going through, but I think they prepare them, because when you go out in the name of Ghana, so that if they don't prepare you well, they don't want to send you out into that environment. Yes.
Because I understand FIFA give badges to top ranked referees every calendar year.
Yes.
And each country is ranked by the classification and assessment committee.
Yes.
And it's based on your performances during
Exactly.
the previous year.
Yes.
And then the test is taken by FIFA. This year, GFA presented 20 male and female Ghanaian referees and assistant referees with FIFA badges for the football season. Is this good enough for Ghana? Just 20.
Well,
A whole country.
in
We have
those,
more.
in those days, we were having 7 FIFA referees for each country.
Oh.
Yes, and then I think 7 referees and 7 linesmen in those days. Right now, I don't know what. So the 20 you are talking about, I haven't.
Okay, so
I'm
maybe they've increased the number because. Yeah, but I was thinking that, does it have to be a standard number? If let's say Ghana has 20 good FIFA referees, doesn't mean that Cote d'Ivoire has the same 20 good referees.
Well, but incidentally, that's the way they go about it. They limit it to a certain number. During my time, the number is 7. Therefore, if at times even it happened that we didn't get a 7, we got less than 7. So other countries got all the 7. Yes, I remember something like that. Yes.
Did you belong to the Referees Association of Ghana?
Yes, I do.
I mean, this association is as old as Ghana itself. They started somewhere in 57 or so.
Yes.
You know.
I was their president
Oh.
on 2 consecutive occasions.
Oh, great! Then this question is
terms.
directed towards you.
Terms.
You know,
Well,
what was the goal of this body, and have they been able to influence the welfare of referees?
Oh yes, they have. You see, the role of the of Referees Association of Ghana is one, to bring all referees under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
Then to ensure their training, that they are well trained and well prepared for matches. It's also that they make sure that misbehavior doesn't come into them at any stage. If you do, they will sanction you. Yes.
So are referees themselves happy with this body and how they handle their affairs?
Well, you know, in every society, there are some people who are recalcitrants. They don't think that you are looking after them well, or you are biased against them, or for that matter, you don't like them. That type of thing. Yes.
Do you remember your first referee match?
Yes, I remember.
Tell us about it.
It was between ASEC of ASEC Mimosa of Côte d'Ivoire and Jeanne d'Arc of
Senegal.
Senegal. And incidentally, it was the first first African Cup Winners' Cup. I refereed it
Oh wow!
together with Provençal, the late Provençal, and then the late Jumo. We refereed
Referee
that
Jumo?
match. Yes,
Yes.
we refereed that match.
Oh wow!
Yes,
I see. This was in
in Senegal.
74.
Yes, yes.
I see. That's interesting. I'll ask you a question about referee Jumo in a short while. But let's talk about some of your performances as a referee. I mean, certainly you would have had very good days and maybe even some bad days, you know, that you refereed, you know. But in the matches that you refereed, do you remember some particular players or match teams who gave you problems?
Well, I remember vividly when Acotex was playing Kotoko in Somanya.
Hey, so many.
Yes,
My people.
in those days. And then Acotex scored a goal and Kotoko vehemently protesting. And they were being led by Ibrahim Sunday. Yes, but God be so good, I had to be whisked away. I remember that.
You were whisked away?
Yes.
Wow. I see. Then that was a difficult time. In fact, so I from your bio, you know, I'm told you had a very nasty experience in Mali. Tell us about that incident in 1977.
Yes, that match was a qualifying match for African Cup, and Côte d'Ivoire came to Mali for the match, and during the match they beat Mali, and then they said
On their home soil.
on their own soil, and they complained that I didn't even give them a penalty. So after the match, I confidently went into my dressing room, and lo and behold, one Lieutenant Bagayogo, I think he was the chief of the security even. They came to assault me in the dressing room. And I want to add that at that time, our ambassador in Mali came with his car to come and whisk me away, and they damaged that car.
Wow.
Yes.
But aren't you supposed to have police protecting you people?
It is the police who carried the attack.
The people were protecting you, the ones who give to you.
Yes.
My goodness.
They beat him well,
So you Ma, did you ever travel with him on any of his matches? Did you go on any of his matches?
Not outside.
Not outside Ghana.
Yes.
But were you afraid for him?
Yes.
A lot,
Some
huh?
of the times.
Because attacks are done a lot by irate fans.
Yes.
Sometimes even players and even team officials, you know. But after this nasty experience on the international front, did you also experience this on the local front? A lot?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
I mean, being attacked. Personally.
Is one out of a few.
I see.
Yes.
A bird has just whispered to me. In fact, let's take some messages, because a bird has just whispered to me that he heard that after the incident in Mali, you know, and this is a black and white bird, you know, as a no-nonsense referee and a military officer, you always carry a hidden weapon in self-defense. Is it true?
It's not true. I mean, how can you carry a weapon when you are running on the football field? You know, your mind set will be so such that you will be more interested in the weapon you are carrying.
But you must have gone to certain strongholds where you know, like we know, like there's a team that there, if you go to Bahamas, will beat you. I think it's in Tamale or Caladan Stadium. There, if you go Bahamas, you'll be beaten. So when you go for a match like this, and I mean, what do you do?
There are soldiers there. Normally, when they always
yes.
soldiers.
Interestingly, in Caladan,
military camps.
yes,
So soldiers go to the
my
stadium.
colleague officers are there. They are
In the stadium.
In the stadium to protect me.
Prepared to.
Yes.
Okay.
It is only where there are no military personnel that you are left alone on your own.
So it was an advantage to be a military officer and a referee.
Yes.
Because those people who didn't have any military background, they really got beaten.
Yes.
Wow. So Fico, your question has been answered. You know, he didn't carry a gun. Let me read a few messages as well. I think we have one from. He must be your son. Joseph, is that what I'm seeing? One from. Let me see. He says, no, I think you have some messages. Let me read them. One is from Senna Akwesi Amengor. And he says, "Hi, Dad. I'm watching you and you are looking very good."
Thank you very much.
There's one Mr. Edifico also says he's watching from New York. And so he asked the question about you carrying the pistol. And then he asked a second question which says, which match comes back as the most challenging and how did you handle it?
It's a very difficult question. Which match came back as the most challenging?
Yes, difficult and challenging.
Difficult
and most challenging. And how did you handle it?
Olympics and that home all match.
Olympics, eh?
Fico,
your team. Olympics. Oli Koso.
Anyway,
Oli Rosalinda.
Anyway, there was a match between Olympics and Heart of Oak at the Crawford Stadium. At that time, I was in MIM. I was working in MIM Timber. And then I came to Accra to come and referee that match. And incidentally, my wife was with me at the stadium. She was in the
Around the spectators.
no, was in the and he was among the
The
spectators,
VIP.
and then wearing Olympics colors. So a goal was scored, and Olympics people said no, the ball didn't cross the line. So they protested, and we continued the match. We ended, and then so at first they said they won't continue play, but then when
Olympics.
yes,
No, that is not. I'm not surprised. Only Logoligi.
when they review the screen, they realize that the ball was right inside the net before they kicked it up. Yes. So
as soon as it crossed there, this is the keeper quits it back. So it didn't look like it crossed there. So they say, yeah, Bobbio. Then they went to view it on the TV. And they saw that it really crossed. So they went back and talked to the players, and the play was resumed. So it was a home or match.
So then that's another VAR in the big
VAR.
Yes, that's another VAR. In fact, somebody has asked a question. I'll come back to that very soon. But so there's a question from a person called Richard, and he's listening from the Amengor's house, and he says, "Grandpa, may God bless you for your great contribution towards Ghana sports." This is also from Sewa Amengor, your daughter.
She wanted to be a referee too, but
Oh, really?
yes, she turned out to become a lawyer.
Wow, lawyer referee, that would have been something else. So she says to me that I'm interviewing one of the finest referees that Ghana has ever had. Back in the day, football supporters were afraid of him because as a military officer, they assumed, you see, this is where your thing is coming from, they assumed you had a gun in your pocket. So they hardly misbehave. So you see, this thing is not coming from foul. People are thinking that you must have had some pistol behind there somewhere, the way you conducted yourself. You see, so it's not just we ask, so back to the question about this ball crossing the line, and they're going to view it and coming back to take a decision. It sounds to me like a VAR. And I have a question from Fred Papo. You know Fred Papo, he was one of the GFA.
Yes.
Yes. He's also an Ɔdadeɛ.
Oh, I see.
Yes, a strong Ɔdadeɛ. Very proud Ɔdadeɛ. And he's asking if you regret there was no VAR during your days.
No, I don't regret. I don't regret because in those days, we are sure that whatever decisions we give are correct. In those days. So that's why I said I don't regret.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But, he's a GFA official or was a GFA official, so he's poking his nose and trying to find out certain things. He said, did you experience any challenges with respect to attempted, and I use that word wisely, attempted bribery during your time?
Oh, yes, I know. Yes.
People try to bribe you.
Oh, yes.
Were they Olympics people?
No.
Because Olympics people did.
No.
I see. Wow. Joseph, do you have any more messages? Have I missed anything? So that I can go on, continue. Okay, all right. So, I was reading, I went back into time a bit, and there's an incident where Class 1 referee Cheando, he's called Tando, right?
Yes,
okay.
Tando.
Lost his life.
No.
This is called referee Cheando. He lost his life in a second division match in the Western region about 10 years ago, when he was beaten mercilessly by Red fans in the full glare of GFA officials and the Referee Association officials. But we know that this continues even today, where referees are still being beaten, for perceived bad match officiating, bribery, and the knots. What apart from what I mentioned, bad officiating, what do you really think is the reason why spectators and players, even team officials, tend to attack referees, especially in our part of the world?
I think this is what I said earlier on, that it's because of partisanship. They think that they are the home team, so they must win by all means. They are the home team, so you can't do anything to frustrate them. And they don't even know the rules of the game, the laws of the game properly. So I think this is the cause of it.
But we have seen matches where some players attack the referee. Not necessarily being in their home ground, but in the match, they are aggrieved, or when they feel maybe the decision has gone against them, or you are not protecting them enough. We see some of them violently pushing referees, some of them even hitting them. And where you have to apply your card. But I'm just, what do you think? You want to
even in the EPL matches,
yes,
the advanced countries,
yes,
you see an attempt
to some of them to
yes
to rush on the referee.
Yes, this Charles Mitrovic of Fulham, yes, Mitrovic of Fulham nearly beat up the referee last season. Yes, for a perceived was it penalty or something against Fulham. Oh, he was very wild.
Yes, because
full view of
I've
the
seen
whole
players not necessarily on their home grounds. I mean, we know that irate fans, the spectators normally, but you see sometimes even the match of even some coaches end up attacking. In fact, in Ghana here, there was a coach who chased the referee, or was he a team owner? Chased a referee, booted him and kicked him because he felt that they are not being, properly treated.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
His younger brother, late, was also a footballer. And I think he tried to be a referee. So he went to play some village, I can't remember. So they were chasing them. They came across Carcrosella, these are everything, this. So he removed the
The pot.
not the pot,
the earthway.
The stick.
What they are using to turn the
They wielded against us.
Wow.
Like you come, they look at this and they retreated. So
It's not easy. It's not easy to be a
no,
referee.
it's not.
Yes, But would you say that match officiating in Ghana has greatly improved, or generally, like in the world, would you say match officiating has improved?
I would say yes and I would say no, because there are certain decisions referees take confirmed by VR, which I don't
always right.
right.
Yes.
You see, but the interesting thing is that what you are seeing from
on TV.
on TV is not the same as what
When you are on the field.
when you are on the field.
Yes.
This is the problem. You see, but then they are giving you another set of referees to sit in an air-conditioned place or something, a VR, to give a decision which at times look very bizarre. Example.
So they are supposed to like fourth officials helping.
Yes,
You
but
the
the fourth official. I want to give you an example.
Okay.
In yesterday's match between
Was that Leicester? Which one? There were two matches yesterday.
the other one, the first match.
La Liga.
The Barca match.
Yes, the Barca match.
Barcelona Valencia.
Yes, Barcelona, Valencia. And we saw an obvious handball. Well, from where you are watching the screen, and the referee says, "Oh, play on."
I see. Now you have become a spectator like us.
Yes.
The referee is on the field of play.
Yeah, this is what I've already explained.
Yeah.
That's what you are seeing on the screen.
It's different from what
Yes.
is happening.
You see, but at times you can't run away from it that this one is just not acceptable. Yes.
So we must beat referees.
No.
Oh boy, So I mean, I know that back in the day, during your time, we didn't have fences. There were no TV cameras. There were no videos. I mean, phones that people could record to capture moments, etc. How do you now see the addition of the VAR and its impact on the officiating? Because now, I mean, in my view, but I want to know your view. In my view, I think that adding them as an extra hand to really help make decisions has actually brought down, the way people, attack and behave, spectators especially.
Well, this is what I've said earlier on, that the VAR
Very annoying referee.
we call it very annoying referee. Problem is it cuts both ways.
Yeah.
Yes, it cuts both ways.
So it has its good sides,
Yes,
you
and
think,
it's
and then
got-
the
yes,
other
bad
side
side,
that are
yes.
not so good.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
But I see it as, I mean, when you compare it to what Ghana, we don't have VAR.
We are trying to have a referee went on a VR course anyway. One of the
But we
referees-
don't have it yet. I mean, if
no,
you
we
look
don't
at
have it. No, we don't have
even
it.
some of our stadiums don't have recording. They can't record. Much more, you know, go and do a VR. They can't. We don't have recordings in some of our stadiums. That is why people misbehave, because nothing happens. They can't even capture them on video.
Yeah, but
You
let
know.
me tell you something. I am proud to say that during the AFCON, our referees did very well. Our referees did very well, better than the European referees.
Why do you say that?
Because the decisions, the decisions they took during the matches were better than the other European Cup matches. Yes.
And the use of VAR, they said AFCON matches is far better than what obtains in the Western world.
Yes.
Even Mourinho said it.
The way we use VAR during the AFCON
Yes,
was better.
far
Yes,
better.
AFCON,
Yes,
really the
AFCON.
Yes,
The recent,
yes,
yeah.
So
AFCON.
the VAR has come into good use. I mean, if
Yes,
you use it well,
Yeah, if you
Yes.
use it well.
you know.
You see, unfortunately, it is the same referees who referee matches, and the same referees who are in the
The machines with
yeah,
the VAR.
VAR. Therefore, that's why I said it cuts both ways. Yes.
But from a referee's point of view, I mean, how can we make sure that our games are played fairly, in the spirit that they are meant to be played?
I think we should forget about that mentality of home team always must win. It is the better team which wins, or let me put it this way: it is the lucky team which wins. Therefore, I wouldn't say that the refereeing aspect has brought anything otherwise. Yes.
But of course, I mean, you know, when you are a referee and you are in the match and you see all the things going on with fans, irate fans, and some building sticks, and I mean, what's the effect on you?
You see, as a referee, you must try as much as possible to close your ears to what the fans are doing. Because if you don't take care, you'll be swayed by the actions of fans. I don't know whether you got what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand that. I
Yes.
understand that. But
Yes.
but we also know that not every I mean, I'm generalizing. But there are some corrupt referees. There are some corrupt referees. Corrupt.
Oh, of course,
Yes.
yeah, they are.
There are some corrupt referees,
Yeah.
and they are the ones and the decisions they make
Yes.
and how they make them
Yes.
that forces. Because I mean, I was listening to one person who said, "I have paid a referee before, or I've influenced the game before through a referee." So people know that it is possible,
Yes.
and that is why when they watch a match and then they see that this decision clearly must have been this, but the referee is saying this, then they think something has gone wrong.
That's correct. That's very correct. That's very correct. But you see, we are all human beings. We make mistakes one way or the other. But if you make a genuine mistake, everybody will know that, oh, this one, let's forgive them. But there are certain things you do and nobody will be prepared to forgive you.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially when people are betting.
Especially, well,
They are
everybody
betting.
are betting.
They put so much money on it, and I mean, betting now is sort of legalized, but back in the day, it wasn't. So if somebody I've met with, let's say, the lawyer Kwe, and we've decided that Accra Olympics is playing hard, and we decided that we will bet. And then in the match, I see that this goal that Olympics has scored, it can't be a real goal, and I'm going to lose the money I've put down there. Obviously, and I think those are some of the reasons why, in my view, the VAR has come to remove that thing there, because the referee on the ground is not the only one refereeing the match. And therefore, if you want to bribe, you have to bribe including those who are in the VAR team. And that makes it very difficult.
Yes, but this is what I've said earlier on, that it is the same referees who are refereeing on the field who go back into the VAR room to give decisions. You see, this is why I said it cuts both ways. Yes.
So you don't think that the VAR is let's bet to agree and differ. Have you heard of the catch them young refereeing policy?
Yes, I've heard it.
Okay, so I was reading Alex Cote, who is also who is also a Presecan. Alex Cote, yes. He is also in Accra House.
Oh, I see.
Yes, House 4. Sometime last year, talked about this policy. That was launched in 2020, and it seeks to give opportunities to young boys and girls between 20 and 17 with the right level of passion and necessary training and development in the field of refereeing. And so far, about 1,200 young referees have been trained throughout the country, selected from 10 regions. He says these young referees represent the hope of refereeing in Ghana. What are your views? To a certain degree, is that not an admission that not all is well with the older referees?
You see, incidentally, I am out of touch with the new trend of recruitment and that type of thing. So I don't think I can make any categorical statement about what Cote is saying. Yes.
But the policy, what about the policy?
Oh, the policy catching them young.
12 to 17 years,
Yes.
training them to become referees.
It might be a good policy. But then, for how long are you going to prop them up? That's my personal view. I mean, is it
200 of them.
Yes. How are you going to follow? How are you going to recruit or follow the 1,200 young referees? Provided you follow them properly, they may grow to become good referees. Yes.
It's now almost 30 years since Ghana got what do you call it? A Ghanaian referee, became a FIFA referee. Or should we? No, sorry. Let me rephrase the question well. He says, it was a question that somebody sent me. Should we be worried that it is now more than 30 years ago that a Ghanaian referee, the late FIFA Jumo, who you mentioned, BK Jumo, was in the middle of a World Cup match at the senior level more than 30 years ago? No referee has been, a Ghanaian referee has been in the World Cup. Should we be worried?
I think we should. I think we should be worried. It means our referees are not pulling their weight. Yes. You see, this Jumo incident, what I saw, I think I saw a clip of it somewhere or somehow. There was a foul. Then there was a lineup, or what do you call it?
A defense wall.
Defense wall.
Yeah.
They kicked the ball. And then, according to what I saw, the ball hit somebody, and then Jumon whistled for a penalty. And this is what brought about that incident. Yes. See, but after that, no Ghanaian referee has gone into the World Cup. No.
Was he exonerated from that particular incident?
I can't tell.
Because it seemed at the time as if he had been how was that word? The verdict was being, you know, like he was guilty of
Against him.
making the wrong decision.
Yes.
You know.
But I can't tell.
And since then, we haven't had any World Cup referee World Cup match. You know, but there has been a lot of improvement generally in the training fitness of referees and the courses they undergo to improve.
Oh yes, that's correct.
You know,
That's correct.
but has it improved much officiating? Because we still see a lot of violence. We see a lot of violence on the field.
You see, this is what I've said earlier on, that we are human beings. If something happens and you think it is not in your favor, you react to it, and then those who think it is in their favor, they also show their appreciation of what has happened. You see, so I think this is briefly what I can say about it. Human nature being what it is. What is good for you must be bad for somebody else, and what is bad for somebody else must be good for you. So this is where we have the problem.
Are you overawed by some of these big football names? You know, like when you are as a referee, you see all these big names that people are hero worshipping. They are mentioning their name all over the place. You know.
I would say yes. My mentor is the Brazilian Pelé.
Pelé.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Brazilian Pelé. He's a gentleman and he's also a good footballer. Messi, Ronaldo, Beckenbauer, yes, and then Cruyff.
Okay, Johan Cruyff.
Yes,
But
Cruyff.
when you were a referee, did we have some of our national stars or some of these stars, you know, in some of these teams that, you know, intimidated you?
Intimidated me.
Well, not when I say intimidated, not intimidated, but like very known footballers who, you know, like you're saying, Baba Yara, let's say you play with somebody who is, you know, do you get overawed by some of them?
No. I'm not overawed by any of the our footballers.
Yeah.
You see, some of them, you know, in the heat of the match, certain things go on in your body, and if you want to give them out, I mean, take them out, then you tend to misbehave, that type of thing. But I don't think it is intentional for that matter. Yes.
Do you think our referees are paid well enough?
Well, right now I don't know how much they are paid, but
At
at
the
the
time you were a referee, do you think you have been paid well enough?
no.
Because that's also part of the reason why people think referees are bribed. They are not paid well enough.
Yeah, they are not paid well enough, and they are not paid on time.
On time.
Yes, they are not paid
Really?
on time.
What do you mean?
You are paid after 2, 3, 4 months after the match.
Hey,
Oh yes.
really?
Oh yeah, of course, yes. This is what happens.
I see. That is a big problem.
Oh, yes, it is.
What about the manner in which we honor our sports heroes? I mean, generally, you know, what do you think about how we honor our referees and what do you think?
You see, I always say that if you make a promise to a sportsman, you must make sure that you honor the promise. If you don't honor the promise, then it is no promise, and this goes on and brings about a lot of sentiment on the part of sportsmen. Yes.
But do you think referees are properly assessed?
Assessment
Yes.
in Ghana.
Yeah. And chosen.
Oh yes. In the during my time, yes. Right now, I don't know what's happening here, but I know there's only one referee which we are always talking about. That is Lai. He's the only referee. He refereed in the AFCON, and he did very well in the AFCON. But that match, after that match, he didn't referee again. I didn't see any assistant referees in AFCON. I didn't see the Ghanaian assistant referees in AFCON.
What did you enjoy most as a referee?
This is a very interesting one. International one, traveling around.
Okay.
Because international refereeing took me to South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, and North Africa.
Okay.
I only didn't go to Europe.
Okay.
So that one alone is amazing to me. But then locally, you go to certain places, you wonder whether they are really playing football in those places. Because the atmosphere there is
it's not conducive
at all. It's not the best.
But you see, I asked this question also because as a referee, I mean, you enjoy football yourself. You played once yourself, and I'm sure, as you are saying, you have players that you admire. You know, so as a referee going around, you meet some of these players, international stars. Isn't that a good feeling for you, as you know, as a lover of football, that you've met a footballer star from another country or even locally? So I know that some referees go and change jerseys for some of the players.
No, referees don't change. I don't remember any referee changing players.
No, after the match, you see them like go for an autograph. Maybe not change, but they go for an autograph from the player. You've seen that some on TV.
No, referees and players.
Yes, I've seen some in some matches where they go and then autograph. They get an autograph for them to sign something. You know, I mean, autographs are things that people would like to keep. That I met, like I'm sure if you had met Pele, you would have wanted him to have his signature on your referee book or something. That would have been, by now, that would have gold. You could sell it for millions. Anyway, that is just something I really wanted to know. But you know, here with me, I don't know whether people who are actually watching can see, where we have a referee association book, a match record book, where there are matches that our guests, you know, I've seen your first one here, D.S.K, Senegal, and Asec Mimosa. It was a 1-0 match, huh?
Yes.
You refereed that one. I see Kotoko and Shanghai City.
Shanghai City.
It was a team here in Ghana called Shanghai.
Oh no, again from Russia.
Oh, from China.
From China, yes.
Oh, and Kotoko won 3-1.
Yes.
Wow. Then I see the same. No, this is another Asec Mimosa and Asfa of Senegal. This Senegal. The French teams were rivals.
Yes, in those days. Yes.
Wow. And your is Provincial and is it Odai?
Yes.
They were your
Yes.
assistants. Okay. And then I see Kotoko and TSV. What? I can't see the name. Hiba. And it's a name I can't pronounce. In Kotoko were winning matches those days, not like today where they are losing so much.
Yes.
Then there was Guinea and Togo. In fact, very interesting this thing, match record card. Egypt and Guinea, they were an international game. African Cups tournament, 76 in Ethiopia. You did Ethiopia and Guinea, Uganda, Guinea and Morocco. Very interesting, you know. And then you have a GFA book as well.
Yes, that's for
your record of also the first division matches that you have.
Yes.
You have that. I see. What's the name of this? 11 Wise and Kotoko. These are some teams that are not in Olympics. Olympics lost here. Because you have lost so many matches. Figo. I read the Olympics and what? Stanford. Stanfast.
Stanfast.
Yes. They beat only 1-0.
The Olympics came
And the Olympics came from
from Stanford.
Stanford. Oh, okay. The Olympics has they drew. Kotoko Wise. I mean, that's very interesting. This is a record worth looking through. Oh, Heart and Oli. Oli, always losing. Eh? Wow. Interesting. I'll take some pictures for you. Plenty matches that people lost. And then there's a referee match record book. So there's a this is the same one as the GFA one, right? This one.
Yes.
And there's a FIFA one.
Yes.
And the FIFA one too has records of the team's Champions League matches.
Yeah.
Far of Morocco and something in one is a Nigerian team. I can't pronounce it. Kotoko in Beijing, China. Connors were playing. Wow.
This don't see us.
Wow, strong teams. And then was some waffle matches where
Yes.
the national club championships, and then cup winners Douala, Fatima and Mazembe. Wow. So the international matches, when you play, they pay you different from the FIFA matches.
No.
Pay in dollars.
Yeah, they pay you in dollars. Yes.
Wow. I was trying to look at how much they pay the FIFA referees, and for World Cup matches, the money is big, and some as much as 60,000.
Right now,
Dollars.
I'm out of touch, so I don't know how much they are paying now.
Eh,
But formally, it's not very much. Yes.
For the FIFA matches.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes, at that time.
It was money.
No, they pay your airfare, they pay your accommodation, and then they give you an allowance.
Per diem.
Per diem.
Per diem, yes. Formally, it is per diem, but they change it to flat.
Flat rate.
Yeah, flat rate. Whether if you spend 10 years, you pay you the same amount as the one who spent one year, 1 day. Yeah.
I see. Wow. You have some very interesting pictures here too. Joseph, are you showing some of the pictures? Very interesting pictures. Wow. So what is this? Is it like news of?
Oh, this is when I was CO Ghana Battalion in Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
That one too was dollars.
magazine.
Gambat.
Yeah, Ghana Battalion. 17.
This is my great grandmother that they've exposed like that.
It was that was the Ghana Day.
Independence Day.
Ghana Day in Lebanon.
And they brought a Ghanaian woman.
Yes,
She looks like my grandmother. I'll sue them.
No, they are all living in Beirut. So
this is a Beirut girl, Ghanaian, and she's.
Yeah.
Wow. I see. That's very interesting. Wow. Okay, so we are getting to the end of our interview, and so let me quickly. Very interesting pictures. It's true, you were a very fine young man at the time. You know, do you have to attain a certain height if you're a referee?
No,
that's not important. But weight
no.
is.
I mean, if you are too plumpy, you can't run. Yes.
Wow. You can speak. I can't hear you. Then I can't hear what you are saying. The signs you are making is not helping me. Oh, the pictures behind. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. We'll take a. We'll Did you take these pictures? Yes. We'll have to show it on the video. You know. So this is my last question, really, because we ran out of time. You know, what are your views on the development of young people in sports these days, and the ways we are handling it as a country?
I think I said earlier on that catch them young, not only for referee, but for all
the disciplines.
All the disciplines. If you continue, it will yield results. But you start, and then it fades away. It fades away. You see, I'll give you an example. An athlete, Matabisa or something.
Oh, the lady who was
She was a very good athlete.
yeah.
But then something went wrong about money and that type of thing, and now she's faded into oblivion.
Because if you recall, those days there were football courts, but even the courts is no longer existent. And abroad, people start from the age of 4, 5, 6 and play. You know, now we have under 17, under 20, and
I mean, this day we are having under 13.
but are they the right age?
No, I'm not talking about Ghana.
We are talking about Ghana.
Oh, I see.
We are talking about Ghana. Do we? I mean, are we getting them young at the right age?
Oh, well, you see, human nature.
Because when I look at the way sports is being done in our schools now, it's like you're not going to really get them to commit themselves to doing sports. It has become something on the side, you know, and people are really gifted and talented, you know, and those sort of people must be identified early and thrust into, you know, professional, you know, sports. But it's like from that age, everybody's just pushed into, you know, the academics. And, you know. Anyway, what advice would you give to any young person or that they're listening, especially those with the inclination and talent to venture into these other areas of sports, management, refereeing, officiating, you know?
Well, it depends on the personality himself or herself. If you want to become that type of celebrated sportsman, then you must put everything into it. You must put everything into it. But if you just want to do it for the sake of doing it, you won't get anywhere. You must be dedicated. You must be very dedicated. Yes. Otherwise, you won't make any progress. Yes.
Okay, Ma, I want to ask you, you know, as a wife of a referee, you know, what is it like to be a wife of a referee?
I used to follow him, not outside the country, but in the country, to watch football matches that he was refereeing. But at a point in time, I stopped because you'll be sitting by a spectator and thinks he's not fielded, he's not refereeing well, not doing anything, and they'll be insulting him. You know, all that.
Those things, you
got
feel
done.
it.
So at a point I stopped. I stopped, but it made me go to follow him, and then I got to be very interested in football.
Yeah.
Very, very interested in football up to today.
Yeah, because you just mentioned you were watching a match yesterday, so I realized that you know you are still. But you know, after his incident in Mali, did you want him to stop?
No.
I mean, as a wife, were you afraid for him going out for international matches?
If I did cry, he won't stop. So I didn't.
but in your heart, what was it?
I wish he would have stopped. But his love, you know.
Yeah.
So
Is there an association of wives of referees?
No, there's nothing like that. If there is now, I don't know. By his time, there was nothing like that.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so there are just some quick messages I have to read. And it's a correction from Fred Papo. He says Alex Cote is the Ɔdadeɛ. The Alex Cote I was referring to is the referee's manager. It's not an Ɔdadeɛ. Thank you, Senior Papo, for correcting me. But he also says he wants to commend Kedal Amengor and Alex Cote for making us proud with their distinguished performances. You know.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Do you have any more messages? No? Okay, so would you like to say anything to anyone in particular, or any special friend or your former colleagues? Would you like to say anything to
Oh, my former colleagues, majority of them are gone. I can't even remember which of them is still around.
Well, anybody in particular?
Oh, well, all that I want to say is that it was a pleasure working with some of them, working with them, and I hope those of them who are coming up now, or who have come up and retire, they will also show the love to the others, so that the others will also follow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what is your final departing words to all seconds? This is the school.
Yes. Honestly, let me say that it was Presec which made me become a soldier.
Okay.
It was Presec which made me become a soldier. I'm saying this because when I went to do the special sixth form exam, I went through a lot of things there, and through that I left and joined the army. Yes.
Okay. I see. What are your impressions of our radio station?
Wonderful, great.
You love it?
Yes, very. I was surprised to hear that. Let me use the word "we" are the only school
exactly
with
exactly.
Radio station.
You are not wrong.
Yes.
The only.
Yes. We wish you all the best. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. And let me take the opportunity also on behalf of Ɔdadeɛ Radio, on behalf of all Ɔdadeɛs, to say a big thank you for taking time to talk to us and sharing your experiences with us. A very special thank you goes to your family, your wife, Mrs. Victoria Amengor, who accompanied you here today, all your children, particularly Louisa, for helping me arrange this and, answer some questions back and forth. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, sir, and we pray that you will live long.
Thank you very
longer,
much.
so that Presec and Ghana will continue to benefit from the experience.
Special thanks to.
Oh yes, I'm going to mention him.
Okay.
Yes.
But I want to.
You want to mention? Okay.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
Go ahead. To say, because it was through him that I got to know about this, and when he asked me if I'm interested, I said, "Oh, why not? I'll be glad to come and share my experience."
Yes.
So Isaac, thank you very much.
Yes.
God bless you.
Yes. So listeners, we've been talking to Lieutenant Colonel retired D.S.K. Amengor, a retired FIFA referee, one of our sports heroes of yesteryear, and we've been talking about his time in Presec, his recollections and experiences as a referee, especially a FIFA referee, and the impact of sports in his life. You agree with me that his recollections have been indeed memorable and enjoyable, and clear that indeed he was one of our very best during his time and era. I was assisted in the studio by our resident technical manager, Joseph Otu, and Michael, our Legon intern, also assisted by Defiko and Fred Papo. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. A special appreciation to lawyer Isaac Kwe for arranging all of this. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful. Did you do any sports whilst you were in Presec? Did you compete for your house, the school, or Ghana? If you did, you should also be in this seat to share your experiences with all of us as we go down memory lane and talk about our sports heroes of yesteryear. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Ɔdadeɛ Sports Digest. Until we come your way again next time with yet another exciting edition, this is your host, Johnny Adufeni. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Unipa nipa belina okasama mkrama eku emizi okasama okasama mkrama ene oye wo nipa belina okasama